If you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, there's some things that I'd like to talk about that I'm not sure that everybody thinks about before they start their channel. So in this video, I want to go over some of those things and help you to see if YouTube is a right decision for you. Before I started on YouTube, I think there was some things, I know there was some things that I didn't really consider about YouTube before I started, but I want to talk to you about some of those things because they when you get on YouTube, you're on YouTube alone, and there's a lot to learn and a lot to think about. And so I've had some comments in my comments section on my videos that have, uh, encouraged a lot of people from my journey to start their YouTube channels, and I think that's amazing. I also want to talk about some of the expectations with YouTube and some of the things that you might not think about, but that you might need to consider before you start so that you just don't waste your time or have the wrong expectations or understanding of what you're trying to do on YouTube and where you're trying to go. And some of the things that you could think about to help you to get a better strategy when you're planning out or thinking about your YouTube channel. I think the first thing that you need to do when you get started on YouTube, or before you get started on YouTube, is think about your why. What's the point of you getting on YouTube? What's the reason why you want to get on YouTube? Because once you understand, why you want to do something, it gives you a lot easier way to plan that whole thing out. And I'm not saying you have to plan that thing out. And actually, I kind of went the opposite route and didn't plan purposely because I knew that there was a learning curve to everything and I needed to figure things out kind of as I went anyways. But at the same time, I know that there's other creators out there that do know exactly what they want to do and they do plan things out and they get it to where they can actually do what they're trying to do. They can achieve what they want to achieve faster because they have planned out the things that they want to do. So having that understanding of what you want to do could save you a lot of time in the future. And when I say what do you want to do, I guess what I'm trying to say is what's your point? What's your reason for getting on YouTube? Is it just for a hobby, or are you trying to make some money or start a business or just share your life, or what kind of what kind of reasons do you have for getting on YouTube? And that will help to start to develop your path that you need to start to get on track with. One of the common misconceptions out there, I think, for YouTubers, or how YouTubers are perceived, is that you get on YouTube and then YouTube, the AdSense, the YouTube Partner Program, starts paying you revenue per month, and that's an amount that really that you could live off of or anything. I think that's kind of exaggerated, and I don't think people fully understand that. When you think about the AdSense, the money that YouTube pays you to be on YouTube, they're getting paid from ad revenue, but that ad revenue really, it's only like $5 per 1,000 views or something like that. And so the amount of views that it takes a creator to get any sort of, monthly recurring income that could pay their bills or that they could live off of is really not realistic unless you're a big YouTuber with hundreds of thousands to millions of views per video. And I don't think it's a good strategy, but I believe that that's what, when people think about being a YouTuber, I think that that's what they think about, that they can quit their job and just live off the ad revenue. That's not realistic unless you're able to pull a lot of views, and even if it was, it would probably take 4 or 5 years to build up that kind of a following to be able to get that many views repetitively. It's just not a good strategy for monetization. And so I wanted to bring that up and make sure that you know that when you get monetized, it's not going to be it's not like you can go quit your job and live off that type of income. The other thing I wanted to bring up is the time frame that it takes usually in order to do YouTube or to get successful at YouTube or some form of success for you or some milestone that you want to hit. It I think it takes a lot longer. It took me over a year to get 1,000 subscribers, and I think that's kind of the norm for most people. And you see a lot of videos out there of people getting monetized in 3 months or even weeks sometimes. And I don't think that those expectations are realistic. I don't think that those videos make it realistic for the rest of YouTubers, because those people are the exceptions. And of course you see them on there because they're being pushed by the algorithm, so you're getting them in your feed and all that. But one of the things that I want to kind of bring to your attention is that if you want to do YouTube, you're going to have to at least give it a year, and that's the bare minimum, I think. And I would say more like 2 to 4 years to in order to see if something's going to start clicking for you, and if you're going to be able to turn it into something that you're hoping to turn it into. And if it's just a hobby and you've been doing it for years, there's people that have been doing for 10 years and it's just a hobby and it's no big deal. That's fine. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about if you're trying to monetize and make money off YouTube, it's possible to do it quickly, but it's not likely that you're going to do it quickly unless you get some coaching or some sort of help from other people. And I've done some coaching. I'm still doing coaching right now, actually, and it does help to do that, to get help from other people and to get kind of like an overall sense of direction for your channel and all that, and to, some external eyes, because you're not going to be able to see everything from just what you see all the time anyway. It's easy to think I'm on the right track. Why does nobody want to watch my videos? But if you're just looking at it from your own eyes, it could be a little distorted that way. So I just want to say that, if you're looking to do something in the business sense of YouTube or making a career out of YouTube, it's probably going to take a few years to do it. And, even I underestimated how long it would take. I gave it a year or two to try it, but I think that even might be a small amount. Just from my experience, what I've seen from my side of it, I need more time. And I'm willing to give it more time. And I think that's what you have to do, is you have to look at it as a long-term thing. A lot of people go to school, and they go to school for 4 years or 5 years or 8 years, and they're paying money to do that. I'm trying to look at YouTube the same way. Like, this is kind of on-the-job training for me. So these years that I'm spending, to me, they're not wasted years. They're years spent learning a skill or a group of skills, a lot of skills actually, that I need to do in order to grow this as a business and to make something substantial out of it. So I just want to have your expectations set realistically to your being less than doing it, trying it for less than a year is likely not going to bring you the results that you're hoping to do. And so I want to make you aware of that. I think if you're going to do YouTube, you've got to be dedicated to it. So you're going to have to find some way to make it fun. Otherwise, you're probably going to stop doing it. There's so many reasons to not do it, to stop doing it. Once you've started, you're getting that momentum going. And once you get that momentum going, if you stop, you can lose some of that momentum. So you really have to look at YouTube kind of more as not something that you're doing, but just kind of a way of life. It just starts to become part of your everyday life. So even if you have a job, you have to think about it outside of your job, and think about, video ideas, and think about how I'm going to shoot this next one coming up, and then, doing the shooting part and the editing part. And there's so much to it, but you just have to make it into a way of life of not really an option to you. Not when am I going to do it, but well, not am I going to do it, but when am I going to do it? And so, just put it into your weekly routine, depending on how often you want to shoot, and just make it part of your life. Make it a routine in your life. So when you think about, is YouTube right for you? Really what you need to think about is, how can I make it work? Or am I going to be dedicated enough to make it work? Because I think anybody can make it work, but whether it's for you, you're going to have to decide if it's something you want to add to your life. Basically, if it's successful for as long as you want to keep going with it. And so it's an exciting thing, and I think it's a great thing for anybody, but I don't think it's for everybody. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to watch this next video that I have up on the screen right here.